troops from the part of al-Hudaydah, as well as the troops of the Houthi forces, which, as the delegate mentioned before, they also care for their people. And in their common interest, it should be that an attack by a Saudi-led coalition can be prevented. And the only way right now is to get all military forces, be it Russia or Houthi itself, out of the port, and instead secure it by a neutral UN peacekeeping force.
Delegate of USA.
The delegation of the USA supports the comments made by the delegation of the United Kingdom, and also we also are perplexed by the position of the Russian Federation, since it seems like it has double standards when we look to the Syrian crisis. It, on the other hand, supports the legit internationally, as he claims, the Assad's regime, and opposes rebels who are also suffering and are on the edge of crisis and refugee crisis and so on. Thank you.
The chair would just like to clarify that Russia's involvement in Syria does not violate international law, whereas the USA's bombardment of an airfield 2 months ago did violate international law. Just to clarify that. China.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And yeah, the delegate of China can just say that it comes with some kind of mockery that Russia, while they're supporting the airstrike of the city that they are meant to protect. However, the Chinese government will never make use of double standards, and as always, we try to we stay neutral and non-interference policy. What we can say that now, by an official statement of the Chinese government, we fear the prices of especially crude oil exports of Saudi Arabia to increase drastically to finance the war, and hence China is proud to announce that a new trade agreement between between Iran and between Russia and China just led a shift in the import policy of crude oil, led to less imports of crude oil by Saudi Arabia to China. Hence, we encourage all other countries that do not support this war to decrease the imports made from Saudi Arabia. I hope that was somehow understandable.
Thank you, Chair. I recognize the comments by the People's Republic of China. However, in response to previous statements by other delegates, I seek to clarify the Russian Federation's position in this incident, as we can perhaps refer to it. The Russian presence in al-Hudaydah was solely to avert a conflict. This has evidently been successful, as demonstrated by the withdrawal of threats to bomb the port city of al-Hudaydah by the Saudi-led coalition. The Russian Federation is willing to withdraw in favor of a peacekeeping force mandated by this council, should that be a course of action that the council is willing to take. That peacekeeping force should, in the opinion of the Russian Federation, be there to guarantee the continued access of humanitarian assistance and to ensure that no side, neither the Houthis nor the Hadi government, can hold citizens hostage to their own political ambitions. I would stress once again that the presence of Russian planes in al-Hudaydah is purely to carry out essential repairs, and that somehow I feel that that does not violate international law, the wish to repair our aircraft, but a happy coincidence is that it has averted a conflict. So I think that some delegates should perhaps tone down their condemnations before thinking through the full implications of it.
Just to clarify the situation right now for everybody who may be a bit lost. So China, Iran, and Russia have increased or proposed to increase their trades in oils and reduce their dependence on Saudi Arabian imports. this is more a political move than an economic, because one does not simply decide to stop buying oil from a country. That takes a long time, a long process. However, it is politically seen as a move that, that these three countries are removing their support to Saudi Arabia. Furthermore, there is Russian troops, Russian Air Force on the Al Hudaydah, which is not their military, but apparently happily had some problems and decided to stop there. Take that as you may. The ambassador of the United Kingdom in Moscow, no, wait, how was it again? The Russian ambassador in the United Kingdom has just been kicked out of the United Kingdom, so that is also seen as a politically motivated move. However, the embassy remains open. Furthermore, the Houthi leader has now issued a press statement saying that they are willing to give control of Al Hudaydah to a peacekeeping operation if the concessions made by the Hadi government and the Saudi Arabian coalition they suffice. So in other words, they are open to giving control of that city or the port to UN peacekeeping operations. So are there any questions? Okay, to me. Sorry. Oh, there was one thing. I'm both at the same time. When you send a directive, I approve the directive. So you don't just say, I just struck a deal with Iran. You say, I would like to strike a deal with Iran. And then I reply, this has happened. It doesn't happen until I say it happens. Ukraine? Had a question?
The delegation of Ukraine has a question from the delegation of Russian Federation that you claim that for the peacekeeping and all your troops and all that there, if we are talking about the troops and weapons and all that, it sounds from conflict, not for peacekeeping. How come you can say by sending your troops and all from there, and then you can say that we are bringing peace and we are talking about peace in there? Make your position clear.
Chair, with respect to the delegate from Ukraine, I think I've made my position very clear. The effect of this unfortunate incident in which Russian troops have had to be grounded for repairs in the city of Al Hudaydah, the effect of this has been to avert a conflict in the sense that there will no longer be a bombing of this city by the Saudi-led coalition. We feel that is a happy situation to be in, where innocent civilian lives have been saved, where a vital artery for humanitarian aid has also been saved. And as we have said in the past, this does not constitute any form of military operation, since we are willing to withdraw in favor of a United Nations peacekeeping force to ensure that this vital artery for humanitarian aid remains open to all, not just to the Houthi rebels. Thank you.
Thank you. And the delegate of China especially appreciates the comment just made by the Russian Federation, as the implementation of a United Nations peacekeeping force is something that has been part of our draft resolution that we already handed in a session ago. So now, especially now that the Houthi rebels agreed in leaving the city and handing over the city to neutral control, I think now more than ever, United Nations peacekeeping mission is needed, and it's needed quickly. So the delegate of China encourages all members on this table to issue a quick resolution, to adopt a quick resolution that allows us to send the United Nations peacekeeping forces to the port of Hudaydah, especially, and for that sake only, to guarantee the safety of Hudaydah, of our humanitarian forces down there, of the humanitarian aid there, to guarantee that not other rebels, especially not the terrorists of ISIL and ARCAP, take over the city, and just to guarantee that we have this important port that is needed for the Yemen's population.
And if it's in order, Chair, to suspend the debate for maybe 15 minutes to allow the perhaps drafting of a resolution for a peacekeeping force to enter the city of Al Hudaydah.
That would be in order. It doesn't have to be an extensive resolution, maybe just like a couple of clauses, one that explains how the peacekeeping operation will be, and what that explains maybe the concessions made to the Houthis or so on, and maybe a third with another extra things, but it shouldn't be Like, I don't want preambulatory clauses on this, for example. It doesn't really make sense. I want it to be more effective. But we'll put that to a vote. So is there any seconds on that? Are there other seconds that have not seconded? Sweden seconds that. No, you don't. Okay, he doesn't. Yeah, China seconds. Votes in favor? Votes against? Then we are in a, yeah, on mud for 15 minutes.